Senate will come to order. Senators will please take their seats. Those persons not entitled to the privileges of the floor will please retire to the gallery. Good morning, Senators. Good morning, guests. If you are able, the Senators and our guests, please stand. We will be led in prayer this morning by the Reverend Charles Phillips of Rosewood Presbyterian Church in Prince George. Following the prayer, everyone will please remain standing, and we will be led in the Pledge of Allegiance to the flag of the United States of America by Senate Page Kana Watring of Martinsville.
One of the most successful political leaders of all time was a king in Israel named Solomon. And he was successful because he had God's wisdom. I'm about to pray that God will give you his wisdom this day. Let us pray. Father in heaven, not sure that we all agree about who you are or even what to call you. But here we are, acknowledging the obvious. All of us need a power and wisdom higher than we possess to do this job of representing thousands of our fellow Virginians. We are formally asking you for your wisdom on this day and in this place. We also acknowledge that no one here is perfect, but we have been sent by the people and called by you to do some good. We are asking you, our divine ruler, to help us work out disagreements to your satisfaction and according to your will. We also ask you that in the midst of our disagreements, help us remember what we always have in common is that you love each of us, even when we are arrogant, even when we are wrong. So, Almighty and eternal God, as this session begins today, I ask for your powerful presence to guide these powerful people to discover your will for your people. Guide them to not take themselves too seriously, but to be serious about doing good for you and the people. Guide them to love one another as you love each of us. Guide this group to carry your spirit of grace and humility toward each other, so that the division and hate in our state and nation can begin to be healed. Give them a passion to be servants and not lords to the people who sent them here to serve. And by the end of this day and every day, use each of us to do the good that you have intended for us to do. We can't do this important job without your help. That is why we have asked for your help. In Jesus' name, I make this prayer. Amen.
I pledge to allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
The clerk will call the roll. All those present, please vote aye. The clerk will close the roll.
You have a quorum, Madam President. Senate Journal for Thursday, February 9th, 2023.
The senator from Northern Chesapeake, Senator Spruill, moves that the reading of the journal be waived. All in favor of waiving the reading of the journal will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 36, noes 2.
Ayes 36, noes 2. The reading of the journal is waived. The clerk will report any communications from the House of Delegates. Chair recognizes the senior senator from Fairfax County, Senator Saslaw.
Madam President, I move that we waive the reading of the communications from the House of Delegates.
The question is, shall the reading of the communication be waived? All in favor of waiving the reading of the communication from the House of Delegates will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 33, noes 5.
Ayes 33, noes 5. The reading of the communication is waived. The clerk will report any communications from the governor.
I do not have any, Madam President.
We're at the time in our morning hour when we will hear from our wonderful guests. We're a little bit thin today, as we are usually on Fridays, but there you are nevertheless. The normal procedure is your senator will stand and introduce you. I'll give my remarks, and then we will applaud after my remarks. And so I'll begin then with the junior senator from Richmond, Senator Morrissey.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, the morning prayer was delivered today by the Reverend Charles Phillips. He's from Rosewood Presbyterian Church in Prince George, Virginia. Pastor Phillips is not a stranger to these halls, nor is his family. I'll get to that in just a moment. Pastor Phillips is a fourth-generation minister, and he has carried on the proud tradition in his family of ministering and providing spiritual leadership. His son is carrying on that tradition. Pastor Phillips is now retired, but, Madam President, when you're a busy person and you retire, people keep coming back to you to get the job done, and he continues to be extremely engaged with Rosewood Presbyterian Church. But he's got a good support mechanism. His daughter, Abby, worked many, many years for our own Senator McClellan in her office. He also has three other children, David, Christy, and Vance. He is married to his wife, Chris, and they have a running joke in their family. Abby told me that the family has the following mantra. We're from Pittsburgh, so if you stop going to church, you can still stay in the family. But if you stop rooting for the Steelers, you're out of the family. So with that, I would ask the body to give a warm welcome to Reverend Charles Phillips.
Good morning again to you, Reverend, and thank you for your prayer, and thank you for all that you continue to do, even though you're retired. Thank you, daughter. And senators, let us give him the warm welcome of his Senate. Chair recognizes the senior senator from Virginia Beach, Senator DeStaff.
Good morning, Madam President.
Morning.
I rise for the purpose of an introduction.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, in the gallery today we have Jesse and Stella Waltz. Jesse is a national award-winning entrepreneur, investor, and philanthropist. He grew up in Sunbury, Pennsylvania, the seventh of 9 children, graduated from VMI in 1985 with a bachelor's degree in engineering. Jesse has been recognized by Inc. magazine, Chamber of Commerce, Inside Business, the Junior Achievement Hall of Fame for running one of the fastest growing private companies in the country. In his 23 years as CEO of JES, everybody knows JES Foundations, he's grown a one-man operation from his garage into the largest residential foundation service company in the United States, if not the world, with more than 4,000 employees operating in over 33 states. Jesse recognized early on the power of analytics and the need for comprehensive business management software applications for his growing business. Born first out of his own need, he began developing his own software and in 2008 launched KBH Business Management Systems, providing his battle-tested BizWiz workflow software solutions to like-minded entrepreneurs. Jesse has since diversified into multiple other ventures, built a commercial and residential real estate portfolio, and become a sought-after angel investor, advisor, and mentor to other entrepreneurs across the nation. Madam President, let's give Jesse and Stella the warmest regards of the Senate.
Please rise. Good morning to you. And apparently, you're another garage business incubated. And so apparently, it's not just cars. Thank you for that. But I also thank you, and we thank you for not keeping your success to yourself, but wanting to spread the blessing by being an advisor and an investor. Thank you for what you do. Senators, let us give him the warm welcome of their Senate. Chair recognizes Senator McDougal, the gentleman from Hanover.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, would the journal reflect that the gentleman from Westmoreland is away from the Capitol on pressing personal business? King George.
Without objection, Senator, the journal will be so noted. Thank you. Chair recognizes Senator Cosgrove, the senior senator from Chesapeake.
Thank you, Madam President, and good morning.
Good morning.
Madam President, I don't have a green sheet for you, but this is a fairly easy one. We have in the gallery today Mr. and Mrs. Gary Lohr. And the reason I want to introduce them, I met them at the boat show just this past weekend, invited them to come down and see how this Capitol works. In less than a week, they're here. So I wish that more people that we invited to come see government would act just like that. So, Madam President, would you please offer Mr. and Mrs. Lohr the warmest greeting of the Senate?
Good morning. Please rise and receive the welcome of your Senate, and don't wait for another invitation. This is your Senate, and you are welcome at any time. Senators, let us give them the warm welcome of their Senate. Is there any other business to come before the morning hour?
Madam President.
Chair recognizes Senator Stanley, the gentleman from Franklin County.
Thank you, Madam President. I rise for an announcement.
The senator has the floor.
Madam President, there is a young man who is the one who runs our PAGE program. He harasses them. He holds them to a high standard. And they all know him as Mr. Finch. Mr. Finch. And it is Bladen Finch's birthday today. Bladen is the ripe old age of 19. That's what he told me. But he has been such an integral part of this state Senate, such a great part of the greatest PAGE program on the face of this earth, and someone that we all love to tease, but we love very much. So, Madam President, if you would wish to Bladen Finch, the herder of the pages, a happy birthday today, I'd be most appreciative.
There you are, Mr. Finch. You moved on me. Well, I don't know if we sing happy birthday to you, but we're going to ask you, how old are you now? Thank you for coming in. 19, and then dog years. Happy birthday, Mr. Finch. Chair recognizes Senator Normand, the gentleman from James City County.
Thank you, Madam President. May we temporarily pass that so I can speak with the clerk?
Yes, sir. The Senate will be at ease temporarily. Recognizes Senator Normand.
Thank you, Madam President. And I apologize for the disconnect, but that's not uncommon for me. Madam President, as it relates to Senate Resolution 123, I move that the rules of the Senate be suspended and that Senate Resolution 123 be taken up for immediate consideration.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended and Senate Resolution 123 be taken up for immediate consideration? All in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. The clerk will please read the title.
Senate Resolution Number 123, commending G. Gilmer Minor III.
Chair again recognizes Senator Normand.
Thank you, Madam President. I would now respectfully move that Senate Resolution 123 be agreed to.
The question is, shall the resolution be agreed to? All in favor of the motion will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The resolution is agreed to. Senator Normand.
Madam President, do I need now to suspend the rules on this?
Yes, sir.
Yes, sir.
Madam President, I would respectfully move that the rules of the Senate be suspended in order that House Joint Resolution 642 may be taken up for immediate consideration.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended and House Joint Resolution 642 be taken up for immediate consideration? All those in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The rules are suspended to take up the resolution for immediate consideration. The clerk will please read the title.
House Joint Resolution Number 642, commending G. Gilmer Minor III.
Senator Normand.
Thank you, Madam President. I respectfully now move that House Joint Resolution 642 be agreed to.
The question is, shall the resolution be agreed to? All in favor of agreeing to the resolution will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The resolution is agreed to. Is there any other business to come before the morning hour? Hearing none, the clerk will call the calendar.
Senate calendar for Friday, February 10th, 2023. Uncontested calendar, House bills on third reading.
Chair recognizes Senator Saslaw, the senior senator from Fairfax County.
Madam President, I move that all House bills on third reading on the uncontested calendar, pages 1 through 5, House Bill 1369 through 2238, be advanced to their final passage in a block after the adoption of any amendments thereto, and any senator desiring to remove a bill from the block, please do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill.
The question is, shall House bills on the uncontested calendar, third reading, pages 1 through 5, House Bill 1369 through House Bill 2238, be placed upon their final passage in a block after the adoption of any amendments thereto, with the understanding that any senator desiring a bill to be removed from the block will do so after the clerk has read the number of the bill. All in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The bills are before us in the block. The clerk will read the number of the bills.
House Bill 1369, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations. House Bill 1405, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations. House Bill 1411, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations. House Bill 1442, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations, and we have a floor amendment.
Chair recognizes Senator Barker, the gentleman from Southern Fairfax County.
Madam President, I move that we waive the reading of the floor amendment.
The question is, shall the reading of the floor amendment be waived? All those in favor of waiving the reading will say aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, no. The reading of the floor amendment is waived. Senator Barker.
All right. I now make a motion to adopt the floor amendment. And speaking to the floor amendment,
The senator has the floor.
the floor amendment is proposed here. We're dealing with transit occupancy taxes and the notification of the entities that are working with the transit facilities. And what this does is it makes sure that there is in the information that's provided to them that it is explicit as to the jurisdiction. And this is being offered because it's not uncommon for some facilities around along the near lines, and also what they have in many situations is you have a city that has a mailing and that city has mailing addresses that are in an adjoining county, and the taxes get paid to the city even when the facility is in the county nearby. And so what this will do is it decrease significantly the number of mistakes that are made on the payment of taxes. And with that, I would renew the motion to adopt the floor amendment.
The question is, shall the floor amendment be adopted? Those in favor will say aye. Those opposed, no. The floor amendment is adopted.
House Bill 1456, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations. House Bill 1486, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations with amendment.
Chair recognizes Senator Howell. Chair recognizes Senator Barker.
The other co-chair. So anyway, I move that we adopt the committee amendment.
The question is, shall the committee amendment be adopted? Those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The committee amendment is adopted.
House Bill 1496, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations. House Bill 1563, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations. House Bill 1595, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations. House Bill 1645, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations. House Bill 2110, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations. House Bill 2238, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations.
The question is, shall the House bills pass en bloc? All in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The bills in the block pass.
Regular calendar, House bills on third reading. House Bill 1685, a bill relating to local business taxes penalties, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations.
Chair recognizes Senator Barker, the gentleman from Southern Fairfax County.
Madam President, I move that we adopt this bill as passage now. So,
what does the bill do, Senator?
This one deals with local business taxes and making sure that there they've identified what the taxes are for, because sometimes there's been confusion as to when the taxes have to get paid. So,
the question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The bill passes.
House Bill 1942, a bill relating to real property tax, notice of rate and assessment changes, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations.
Chair again recognizes Senator Barker, the gentleman from Southern Fairfax County.
Thank you, Madam President. I move that the bill pass. And speaking to the bill,
the senator has the floor.
This is another one that's somewhat similar to the previous one that we did. This deals with what types of assessments would be proposed if the for property taxes that would identify what increases in the actual tax on the property and not just the amount of the tax rate. And with that, I renew the motion to pass.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 1.
Ayes 38, noes 1. The bill passes.
House Bill 2334, a bill relating to sales and use tax, exemption for oil and gas drilling equipment, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations.
Senator Barker.
Madam President, I move that this bill be passed by for the day.
Without objection, House Bill 2334 passes by for the day.
House Bill 2362, a bill relating to burial fees for military spouses, reported from the Committee on Finance and Appropriations with a substitute.
Chair again recognizes Senator Barker.
Madam President, I move this committee substitute be adopted. And speaking to that motion, what this bill does, what the substitute does, is that we had passed a bill that was more narrow in context, and this will provide burial rights for spouses for both National Guard and other military people there, and the National Guard was added to this. So, and I would renew my motion for adopt a committee substitute.
The question is, shall the substitute be adopted? Those in favor will say aye. Aye. Those opposed, no. The substitute is adopted. Senator Barker.
Madam President, I now move that the bill be adopted as a substitute. And this will bring it into compliance or consistency with what action we took here, and then the additional rights to the people who are there for the National Guard.
The question is, shall the bill pass? Those in favor of passage will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 38, noes 1.
Ayes 38, noes 1. The bill passes.
Uncontested calendar, House bills on second reading.
Chair calls on Senator Sasloff, the senior senator from Fairfax County.
Madam President, excuse me, I move that all House bills on second reading on the uncontested and regular calendar, pages 7 through 34, HB 1385 through HB 2071, that the rules be suspended and the second constitutional reading of the titles be dispensed with.
The question is, shall the rules be suspended and the second reading of the titles of House bills on the uncontested and regular calendars, pages 7 through 34, House Bill 1385 through House Bill 2071, be dispensed with? All in favor of the motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 39, no 0.
Ayes 39, no 0. The reading of the titles is dispensed with. what purpose does the junior senator from Richmond rise?
Speaking to House Bill, Madam President, HB 2017 on page 333. I hope I'm not a moment late, but I'm going to ask that House bill be referred back to the Committee on the Judiciary.
So we are going to remove it from out of the block?
Yes, Madam President.
And we'll do that afterwards. Thank you, sir.
Thank you, Madam President.
Senator Sasselon.
Just pass by for the day.
I would move now that those bills that we waive the constitutional reading on be passed by for the day.
The question is, shall the House bill on the uncontested and regular calendars accept House Bill 2017, now on third reading, go by for the day? All those in favor of the motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The House bills are now by for the day.
Page 33, House Bill 2017.
Senator Morrissey.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I'd ask that move that House Bill 2017 be re-referred to the Committee on the Judiciary.
Yeah. Recommitted.
Madam President, I think I heard one or more folks say why. Let me address that. I spoke to the patron of the bill, Delegate Adams, after the judiciary meeting. I expressed some concerns to him, and he is okay with this bill being re-referred to judiciary. I then followed that up with a letter to the chairman, co-chairman, gentleman from Charlottesville and the gentleman from Roanoke City, as well as the gentleman from Fairfax City. And I also brought a copy of that letter to Delegate Adams.
Senator Stanley, the gentleman from Franklin County.
Thank you, Madam President. Will the gentleman yield for a question?
Will the junior senator from Richmond yield?
I yield.
Senator yields. Senator Stanley has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I'd ask the gentleman, since this came out of the House, it was debated there, and certainly we start the process over again. What were your concerns in the judiciary? I thought it was there. Maybe I missed what they were. But what are your concerns with this bill that would require it to go back to the Judiciary Committee?
Senator Morrissey has the floor.
I would tell the gentleman that my concerns and some of the others from the people in my caucuses that had added crimes to the bill that required a preliminary hearing and then transferred to, then moving on to circuit court instead of keeping it as a transfer hearing where the juvenile and domestic relations district court judge had some discretion.
Yield for another question, Madam President.
Will the senator yield?
I yield.
The gentleman yields. Senator Stanley has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I'd ask the gentleman again, though. This looks like, in order, especially as I know the makeup of the Judiciary Committee to be, that there were Democrats who supported this in its current form as it came out of the Committee on the Judiciary 9-6. So are we redoing this because we didn't like the result? Or are we going to then consider this again in the Judiciary, make some changes, make some amendments, or Madam President, is he really just trying to kill it?
Senator Morrissey has the floor.
Yes, I would tell the gentleman, I'll be very candid. I spoke to a couple of the members of the Judiciary Committee on the Democratic side afterwards and said, were you aware of the following? They said no, and I said to them, I asked one of them, would you bring up the motion to reconsider it? It wasn't done. So then afterwards, I went and saw the patron of the bill, Delegate Adams, in his office. I shared with him the concerns. That I and at least two other members of the Senate Judiciary Committee had, and asked him if he was wedded to this bill, and he said he wasn't, and I said that I wanted to re-refer it to the Committee on the Judiciary.
Final question, Madam President, if he will yield.
Will the gentleman again yield?
I will.
The junior senator from Richmond yields. Senator Stanley has the floor.
Thank you, Madam President. I'd ask the gentleman, and it seems to me, is this a bill that the gentleman believes is fixable, and that's what we're going to do? That it cannot be amended on the floor, or debate cannot be had on the floor? I'm confused as to why this suddenly, after giving its due deliberation in the judiciary, 96 comes out. If there's a fix, we're not fixing it on the floor. And if we are going to fix it, and it takes more fixing than a floor fix, are we going to be fixing it in the judiciary?
Senator Morrissey has the floor.
I would tell the gentleman I don't think the bill can be fixed on the floor. I don't think the bill can be fixed in Senate Judiciary. I ultimately expect that the bill would be killed.
Madam President, I thank the gentleman for his honesty. That's refreshing.
You're welcome. Thank you.
Chair recognizes Senator Peterson, the gentleman from Fairfax City.
Thank you, Madam President. Speak to the motion.
The senator has the floor.
Ladies and gentlemen of the Senate, mea culpa. We did have a brief debate on this. I voted for it. I had a conversation afterwards with Senator Morrissey and told him I would move to reconsider and bring it back, and I forgot. And so got called away to present a bill and forgot to do that. So as a result, it should have stayed in committee. That's my mistake. I'm sorry you had to go through this, but let's send it back to committee. Thanks.
Chair recognizes Senator Edwards, the gentleman from Roanoke City.
Madam President, I endorse and support the idea of sending it back to the judiciary for further consideration.
The question is, shall House Bill 2017 be recommitted to the Committee on the Judiciary? Those in favor of that motion will say aye. Those opposed, no. The chair is, okay. Apparently, I am uncertain. This will be a recorded vote. The question is, shall House Bill 2017 be recommitted to the Committee on the Judiciary? Those in favor of that motion will record their votes aye. Those opposed, no. Are the senators ready to vote? Have all the senators voted? Does any senator desire to change their vote? The clerk will close the roll.
Ayes 22, no 17.
Ayes 22, no 17. The bill is recommitted to the Committee on the Judiciary. Chair recognizes the senior senator from Fairfax County, Senator Saslaw.
Madam President, I would inquire the clerk, does that complete the calendar?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
Chair recognizes Senator Reeves, the gentleman from Spotsylvania.
Madam President, may we return to the morning hour for an introduction?
Absolutely, Senator.
Madam President, he snuck in here, and I just saw him come in. On behalf of Senator McDougal and myself, want to welcome to the chamber Daniel Laeo, who's an executive officer from the Consular Division from the country of Taiwan in preparation for Madam Ambassador's visit this next week. And if we can welcome my good friend Daniel to the gallery, I'd appreciate it.
Still morning. Good morning, Mr. Lay, and thank you for coming, and well wishes to you and your country of Taiwan. Senators, please let us give the gentleman the warm welcome of our Senate. Is there any other business to come before the Senate? The clerk will report any announcements on the desk.
Today, Friday, February 10th, 2023, the Committee on Education and Health will meet immediately upon adjournment at the chair's desk. The Committee on General Laws and Technology will meet immediately upon the adjournment of Education and Health at the chair's desk. The Senate Committee on the Judiciary and the House Committee on Courts of Justice will meet upon adjournment of Senate and House sessions in the House Committee Room, Pocahontas. Monday, February 13th, 2023, the Committee on the Judiciary will meet at 8 o'clock a.m. in Senate Room A, Pocahontas. The Committee on Local Government will meet at 9 o'clock a.m. in Senate Room 3, the Capitol. The Democratic Caucus will meet at 11:30 a.m. in Senate Room 1 in the Capitol. The Republican Caucus will meet at 11:30 a.m. in Senate Room 2 in the Capitol. Weekend weather report. Saturday, chilly and breezy. Temperatures will be in the upper 40. Sunday, the chance of rain or snow is close to 100%. North and west of Richmond, expect snow or sleet beginning Saturday night and into early Sunday morning. The highest likelihood of significant heavy snowfall will be in Southwest Virginia and across the higher elevations east of the Tri-Cities. Drive friendly and safely. Have a nice weekend.
Chair calls on Senator Lucas, the gentlelady from Portsmouth.
Thank you, Madam President. Madam President, I move that the Senate do now adjourn until 12 noon on Monday.
The question is, shall the Senate now adjourn until 12 noon Monday? All those in favor of adjourning at that time will say aye. Those opposed, no. The ayes have it. The motion is agreed to. The Senate stands adjourned until 12 o'clock noon Monday.